What's up, guys? It's LP, and yes, finally, for as long as I've been on YouTube, finally, I'm bringing you some unhacked World at War gameplay. And man, I couldn't be happier about that. I really enjoyed this game during its prime, and the hacking has kind of made it unplayable at this point, but I'm not going to get into hacking because this is staying positive, and if I started talking about hackers, it would get negative really quick. And man, do I love the bazooka. But guys, I'm really happy that I could be bringing you some World at War gameplay for my Staying Positive series as I destroy a couple more camping nerds. And again, for those of you who don't know, this series is all about staying positive, obviously, because there's so much negativity in YouTube these days, especially surrounding the Call of Duty series, and I'm guilty of that myself. So I made this series just so I can take one of the Call of Duty games, talk about it, talk about what I liked about it, talk about what made it fun for me, and just stay positive. So obviously this time I'm talking about World at War. And this may come as a shock to some of the people who've been following me for a long time, but World at War is by far my most played in days and hours Call of Duty out of all of the Call of Duties. Now, being employed during the time that this game was out probably had something to do with it. Well, I mean, I was unemployed, but I was in college. And I didn't go to college for school. I went for basketball, so I had plenty of free time. But this game just was so much fun to me, and it gets back to the simplicity of why I like Call of Duty 4. The 357 setup, also having stopping power in there. Stopping power was just a great offset for stealth perks. And like I said in my last video, stopping power when you get into a gun-on-gun situation is going to win over somebody using UAV jammer or camouflage. And I think that the Call of Duty series is really missing stopping power at this point. And I don't know if it'll ever come back, but boy, it'd be great to see it come back, as long as it was brought back in the same fashion as it was before, where it was balanced with these stealth perks. And another thing that actually might shock some people is my favorite way to play on this game was sniping. There's just something about the old school, and I don't even really like old war games, but there's something about the old school bolt action sniper rifles that I just really enjoy using. I actually own myself a 1943 Mosin Nagant bolt action rifle that was officially issued in World War II, and I go out to the range all the time and I shoot it, so maybe that had something to do with me liking sniping so much. But I felt these maps were very balanced and laid out really well. They had great sight lines for snipers, but they also had nice flank routes, and then again they had some classic choke points that if you wanted to keep the action quick on your end, you just stayed in those choke points. And the maps were just really well done in this game. Sometimes they were huge, but like I said, they had hot zones and choke points to where if you stayed in those areas, the gameplay stayed relatively quick. And obviously, as I pull out the bazooka again, actually I think my first 2 kills in this game were with the bazooka. But I really like the bazooka in this game. The flight pattern is really straight, and I feel like the flight speed is twice as fast as like current RPGs in the small. I feel like when you pulled the trigger on this bazooka, it was at your target. And even though it seemed like the damage was a little low, the splash, like the visual splash explosion when the bazooka hits, it's just awesome. And the sound, I have no idea how I just killed myself right there. And the sound in this game was really well done too. You couldn't, I mean, you could still sound horn, but you couldn't sound horn as much as you can like an IW game. And I think that just made for great tactics. Not that many people use dead silence, or I think that's what it was called in this game, but I just felt like, again, I know I keep going back to it, the simplicity is really what draws me into these older games. But I hope you guys enjoyed this World at War gameplay, and as always guys, thanks for watching. Later.
My dogs will fuck you up. Get out of here. Man.
Nice work, Marines! Scratch one up for us!
One of the hackers.
51. That guy really just 51 kills. Oh no, that was his points. I was like, what? Damn, look at y'all, man. I need to be beasted.